It has been said that clarity comes from engagement, not just sitting around thinking, but from actually taking action. So, are you still waiting to take your next step? Are you afraid about making the wrong step? How can you get clarity? And for that matter, what does clarity even mean? And if you do get clarity, what does that mean for your business? So what we're going to do today in this video is we're going to look at three things. First, we're going to look at what clarity is and why it's important. And second, we're going to see how you can get the clarity you need to actually take the next step. And then third, what we'll do is we'll see what it means for your God-centered business. Join me. Hello there, wise woman. This is DeneenTB, your Christian business growth strategist and clarity coach. I am so thankful that you're here with me today. And if it's your first time here, I want to welcome you to my channel. Since I am a clarity coach, I thought it would be really good to look at what clarity actually is and how we get clarity and what it means for you and for your business. So let's dive right in. I'm going to start with a definition because I love definitions. So we're going to definitely start there. So let's look at this word clarity. There are actually three different elements or three different definitions that I'm going to look at, and I'm going to read them to you. The first one being the quality of being easily understood. The second one is the quality of being expressed, remembered, and understood in a very exact way. And that's important to remember. And then the third one is the quality of being easily seen or heard. Wow. These definitions are really about bringing clarity to those that you are wanting to serve, aka your clients, right? But wait a minute. What if you don't have the clarity yet to be able to articulate clearly all of those things? How can you get to this point where you can actually say it aloud? The point where you are giving clarity so your business message is understood by those you are called to serve, so that your business can really stand out in the crowd and be seen by those you are meant to work with. That your business really has a focus and is focused on your ideal client so you can attract them regularly. You know, clarity is so important because in order for you to have a business, the business that you want, the business that God wants for you, you also need to be giving a clear message about what you are all about. Is that correct? Do you agree with me? If you don't know, if you show up every week and you're kind of offering something new, something different, you're actually confusing the people that you're trying to attract. You know, clarity comes from the work that you do beforehand, because without doing that work beforehand, you actually won't know how to proceed. And then you feel like everything is kind of crazy all the time, right? So let's back up a little bit. We really need to get this clarity for ourselves before we can actually communicate it with others so that our potential clients actually hear us. So if clarity starts with action, which we've already said and determined, then we need to have a precise action plan. Ooh, I love this because this is exactly what I do in the Calling Clarity program. And this is what we call in our flywheel of how we do business, how we proceed in business as the first step. And it's simply called clarity. So let me tell you this, there are several layers to this because you can't just do one thing in a flywheel and imagine that that's going to make the whole wheel turn. We've got to do a lot of little things. There's a lot of different layers. So the first thing that we do in this clarity is we want to know you, know who, and know what. So those are three layers that we really need to get into. Remember, you cannot get unstuck and you cannot take that first step without doing the work to know, right? And to actually be able to say what you know aloud in a clear way. Clarity starts around knowing you. God has created you so unique, and he has really equipped you to do the things that he's asking you to do. Now, I know you have a lot of great ideas about all the things that you could do, and you really do want to be a multi-passionate entrepreneur. How's that working out for you? How's that been going for you so far? When you take the time to examine all the things that God has allowed in your life to actually bring you to this point in your life, you discover repeated patterns. And these are actually signposts for you to help you know what to do next, what next step to actually take. Remember what I said. Clarity comes from action. The action here is to really start to create lists. Get things down on paper so that they're in front of your eyes. When you keep all those things locked up in your head, it kind of just swirls around in there and you can't really see it. Your brain loves to let go. And that only happens when you actually record it somewhere, okay? Whether you're analog or digital. This gives you a way to be able to focus on those things that you see in your life that have come up again and again and again. And it actually gives you direction. Then you need to know who. Who is God calling you to serve? Who is out there just waiting to hear your clear message? Many times our ideal clients are very much like ourselves. Why? Because whatever it is that God has brought you through is exactly what you are now an expert at doing. And since you maneuvered through all that situation, you are now equipped to help others maneuver through it and go through it much faster and with some more precise actions. I think about some of my clients who have done this. Maria left an abusive marriage situation with her children. She struggled for many years to not only be financially stable, but to also be emotionally and spiritually stable. And she's come out on the other side. And now she wants to give women who are in those similar situations the resources and the tools that they need to be able to leave the situation they're in and then support them and what they need as they get healthy. I also think about Lisa. She's done this. She's been a business owner with her husband for many, many years, but she felt like there was something missing from her life. As an artist, she had really given up that creative side of herself, and it was taking a toll on her, as she calls it. Once she allowed herself really the space to get back to taking the time to be creative, it healed many parts of her life, including her people-pleasing issues. She now helps other artistic people have this outlet, the outlet they need to deal with their stress, to relieve their negative thoughts, and to just allow themselves to be creative. She says she's just taking people along on her own journey with her. This may be your story too, but knowing you first, then you are able to know the who. Now, have you thought about this before? Have you thought through your own story to see if God is asking you to help someone with a similar story? Let me know down in the comments. How is this hitting you? Let me know. Then there is the knowing what. What are you going to offer? Now, the big thing right now that is flooding the market is, of course, courses. Everyone seems to have a course. But is that all there is? First off, let's talk a little bit about what a course should offer if you decide to go in that direction. It really has to be transformational and not transactional. Now, what does that mean? Well, it actually needs to take someone from their place of pain to their place of gain. They need to be guided by you through that entire process to get them from where they're stuck to the place where they're really thriving. Transactional courses actually teach you just like one thing, like the how-tos, like how to create an email list or how to create a killer sales script or how to, well, you get the picture, right? You know what I'm talking about. So imagine creating something that is unique to you. Clarity comes from finding your way to do something that no one else has even thought of because they're not you. Whether it is a course or a support group or a membership or something entirely new and uniquely you. It can be whatever you make it. You can only do this by sorting through all the possible options and then building on what you have learned that your ideal clients want from you. That means you actually have to talk to them, getting their input so that you can build the thing that they want from you. I know so many people who never do the research and they end up failing. I didn't do the research at first and I didn't sell hardly anything. You need to know what your potential ideal client wants. Bring them into your world, as I like to say, and then give them what they need. Okay, so let's review. Clarity means your message is being easily expressed and remembered and understood. It is being seen and heard clearly. Right? We all want this for our businesses. I want this for my business. And it is super important because that's the way that we attract our ideal clients. And we get clarity by knowing who we are, who they are, and what they want from us, right? We've made that all clear. So what does going through all of this clarity actually do for your business? Well, first, I think clarity keeps you from constantly questioning what you are doing and constantly changing your mind. That's the first thing. When you have that clear mindset as to who and what, it gives you a focus and direction. I hope that makes sense to you because it makes total sense to me. Ideas come to you because you are thinking in one direction, not in the multiple directions that you may have been doing before. Your brain has the opportunity to bring out all of your brilliance to help you make decisions that are good for your business that actually help you to move forward. I think about another client who has done this. You know, Mary had worked hard in her website business for about a year or so, and she was drowning when I met her. She was doing all types of things in addition to website design. She was blogging for people. She was managing their social media accounts. She was doing email marketing. I can't even remember all the stuff that she was doing. And she had clients that were in all types of industries. When she decided to focus and to get her own clarity, she discovered a few things. First of all, she wanted to work with women who were really challenged with technology. And she loved email marketing. So now she is thriving by working specifically with those women who want to learn all the tech part of their business for themselves. She was able to expand her business to help more women because she was able to scale in that one particular area. Having a focus gave her a way to find more clients that had the same needs. Makes sense, right? Clarity also increases your confidence. This happens because you are clear on what it is that you do best, and you can tell that to others. By focusing all the pieces of your life into what we call your beautiful mosaic, that's what we call it in Calling Clarity, you are able to pull from your experiences, your expertise, your gifts, your values, your talents, your strengths, and even your personality to create a business that energizes you and, of course, attracts those ideal clients. That's what's so amazing about this, because when you are sure of how God has designed you and how he's designed you to be, it brings out all that confidence. Another thing that clarity does for you is that it puts things in order for you. It gives you the ability to prioritize what is truly important. When you're able to define your priorities, a couple of things really happen. The first one, which I love for Christian business women overall, and I probably will love for you too, is that it gives you the ability to say no to opportunities that are really not aligning with what God has called you to do, what he has called you to focus on. Imagine that, not having to say yes to everything. Two, I think what it does, it actually helps you to finish the things you want to finish. You take things one step at a time. There's an order to how you're conducting your business because you've actually thought through what is best for your business. So, are you stuck right now thinking, What should I do next? What direction does God want me to go? How can I be sure? How can I have this clarity about the next step that I should take? Now, if this is you, I want to invite you to get clarity. So I have two things for you. The first one is my worksheet called How to Get Clarity, and that can get you started right away. Also, I would love to get on a clarity call with you. I will link both of those down in the description. Remember, clarity comes from action. So take some action right now by clicking on one or both of these links. Let me help you. Let me help you to understand why clarity is important, how it helps you to really take that next step, and what it means for your God-centered business. This is DeneenTB. Let me know what clarity you are taking away from this video. Put that down in the comments. Make sure to also like and subscribe to the channel as well. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, be filled to overflowing.